Welcome to the NerdLore podcast where we talk stories, theories, and lore. I'm one of your three hosts, Shiny Shoes.
And I'm Crashstarling, not the guy making weird noises as we started.
But I'm Skandle.
And tonight, Crashstarling's gonna lead us through another adventure of human beings that are more than others around them.
There's not a single person that's out today that could hold a candle to any of those people.
What? Okay. So last episode we talked about like badass humans, and Shiny decided to give us this little book report, and I totally misunderstood the topic because I was like, badass humans. Who was just a genuinely cool, talented guy? It's the D-O-double-G. Let's talk about some Snoop Dogg here. So most people definitely know him from his music career. I'm assuming you guys probably got introduced to him the same way.
Yeah, I'm old. I was 10 when he first hit the scene.
Right. Let's see, you were 10 when he first hit the scene. So
Yeah,
in 90, well, I wrote down it was like 92 was when he like first started making music. So I didn't. You were wait. Wait.
Yeah, you're the youngin.
No, I thought Shiny was older than you for some reason.
You thought Shiny was older than me?
Yeah.
No, dude, I'm old, bro. I'm old, man.
Oh my god, you're the grandpa of the group. Tiny what? Yeah, no. Like when I was a kid, I didn't hear a lot of his music because obviously a lot of children don't listen to Snoop Dogg. They can't seem to relate to his lyrics for some reason. I can't imagine why. But I did hear Gin and Juice like a lot. Like so much. Like even when I didn't know what the hell it was, I got introduced to Snoop Dogg and like his iconic like just way of talking and rapping. So I want to throw out, that's probably my favorite song. It's Gin and Juice. It's so basic for Snoop Dogg, but I love it so much. It just gets me so hyped to hear it. What about you guys? What's your favorite Snoop Dogg song?
I can't honestly say that I have one that I'm just like, oh, I love this one so much. My mom liked to listen to gangster rap, so I grew up on Snoop and Tupac. Then we went into Project Pat and stuff like that. But hard to say what I would just say is my favorite. Like it'd be a lot easier to be like, what's your favorite Tupac?
Bone Thugs, baby.
Snoop was there, but I don't know if that was ever really an avenue that I went down. Probably Gin and Juice as well. That's probably the one that I know the most of.
It's just such a good song. What about you, Skandle?
Okay, so most of you don't know. I know you two know. I have a very strong feeling and emotion towards music. Artwork doesn't really do anything for me. I don't look at artwork and get like, it doesn't invoke an emotion, but music for some reason does. I'm one of those weird people who sometimes when you hear a song, you're like, you can get chills. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever experienced that before, but yeah. So that to me is like really good stuff. And that era of storytelling for me, with all those artists back then, man, I used to tell a story, dude. It was like legit poetry, right? Like I mean, it was the way the cadence was. I mean, and the emotion behind every single song. Like every single song back then meant something, right? I miss those times. That's all I'm trying to say. I really probably liked Murder Was the Case because it told us, like back then the news wasn't what it is now either, right? Like they didn't have magazines full of what happened to celebrities or whatever. So the only information you ever got was from like MTV News, especially when it came to music information. So, you stay glued to your television during that whole trial with Snoop. Um, and then when he released that album and he like told that story, like the first part was how he got um, into the predicament, but then like the second verse and things like that were about him and his interaction with the devil and his selling his soul to be. I mean, it just told a really good story, and I just really really liked this. Sorry, I didn't mean to like go out on a tangent.
No, that's actually perfect because I had a point. I have a whole list in front of me of just stuff that I wanted to cover about him, and I wrote down specifically about his murder case and the Murder Was the Case soundtrack,
Hmm.
which it actually brought up an interesting point that like there's like do you guys know the difference between like fine art and like hobbyist art? This is going somewhere. I swear to God, this is going somewhere.
Anything
So
I do could be considered fine
Yes,
art.
yeah. No, get this man. This man's literally, I'm just so fine. It just rubs off on my art.
Fine art,
Yeah,
everybody.
got some fine art there. So the difference actually is exactly what Skandle just said, is that hobbyists can make a cool product. It's a product. It's like you ever watch those like there's tons of stuff. There's like guys making like Pokemon out of clay or like metalwork showing off like a character, like that kind of thing. Like Facebook videos where you just see like the time lapse with some music.
Mhm.
That's product art because it doesn't represent anything. It's just making a thing. Like
Mhm.
it takes talent, but the difference then is like clearly defined where fine art is both an emotion you're trying to capture or an emotional reaction you're trying to get from the audience. And I think that's like a really big difference in today's music is that like older storytelling for rap was about like not only telling a story, but it was trying to like showcase your emotions and your feelings and like represent them and also try to pull those emotions from other people who can relate to the things that you're talking about. Whereas modern rap is just a product. We don't need to worry about where I'm going with that, but just you guys know what I mean, right? Like modern rap.
I don't disagree, man.
Yeah.
I'm very strongly opinionated when it comes to music, and I I I don't want to call it a lack of talent, right? Because at some level you have to have some sort of talent, whether it's the way that you market yourself or you're lucky or you have an in or whatever. There's some sort of talent there to produce what is considered hip hop nowadays. Um,
Got a nuclear take coming in from the boomer.
no,
Nuclear take.
I just don't think I don't think any of them lyrically or skill wise could ever hold a candle to anybody from that era of hip hop and gangster rap. It's funny because three white dudes are talking about gangster rap, but um, the storytelling that was there, you can't touch people like that, man. You can't touch people like Snoop. You can't touch people like Dre. You definitely can't touch people like Nas. Not Nas is one of, if you didn't like listen to gangster rap or even like storytelling hip hop and all this stuff that happened in that era, if you didn't listen and if you didn't listen to the East Coast, you probably never even heard of Nas. But lyrically, that man is a genius. I mean, the way he flowed about his life growing up, he was great. Nobody from this era. I don't care. You can argue with me in the comments all you want to. There's not a single person that's out today that could hold a candle to any of those people at
We're
all.
getting definitive today. We're drawing lines in the
Yeah. I
sand
mean,
for
I feel.
Scandal.
I told
Do you
you
think?
I'm very emotional about music. I'm sorry. It's a very strong. I'm passionate about music, man. I'm
Now,
sorry.
there are some hip hop and R&B artists that are really good. They just don't get the acknowledgement that a lot of the mainstream does. There are some really good artists out right now. Some that have put out albums recently. Got to think back, maybe even within the last 5 or 6 years. You got Gambino, um, Lupe.
I mean, they all have their own style, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm not trying to sit here and tell you that everything that's out at this time is garbage. That's not what I'm trying to say at all. I'm not trying to say that there are not any talented people that are producing music right now. I'm just saying if you were to compare the two, you can't. You can't. Whether it's just a completely different style of hip hop or the lack of skill or the skill level between the two is you can't compare the two, in my opinion.
No, I want to move on, but I also want to keep talking about this. You know what I mean? Like I totally want to keep talking about this next podcast, maybe. But like when it comes to this, like when it comes to music, that's like not all that defines Snoop Dogg. You know what I mean? Like Snoop Dogg's iconic. Like he coined. This was way before my time. I'm like the faux shizzle thing, but even that was just like
you were gonna say it.
you was hoping I was gonna say for shizzle, dude. It literally, like, I still heard it like all the time growing up, like especially in like suburban white America. People love saying for shizzle.
Yeah.
It's so stupid, but like he coined that whole thing. Like that's iconic Snoop Dogg. Like, this is a man who coined, like, he has his own way of speaking and just transitions between different things and then it becomes a thing. It's super weird. But just taking like who he is as a person, they just put him into different kinds of media. Like everyone knows him from music, but he does like movies, like he's in cartoons, he's in TV shows most of the time as himself. Like he's just straight up like Snoop Dogg is just in this TV show. And I wrote a bunch of them down that I thought was hilarious. The first one was Pitch Perfect 2. Never saw it.
Those are great movies.
Is it?
They're really good.
But I made a note that he's just himself in Pitch Perfect 2. What the hell does Snoop know about singing? Probably something. But
I'm not touching that one. Go ahead.
Like,
you can keep going.
But I'm like, this is a movie about like show. Isn't it about show tunes?
I have no clue. It's about singing. I know it's a musical.
Yeah, it's about singing.
It's like show choir competition.
Yeah, what the who literally was like, all right, we made Pitch Perfect 1. All right. They're sitting at a board meeting like, all right, we made Pitch Perfect 1. You know what the next movie needs? Snoop Dogg. No, I don't.
You do that for marketing value, right? Yeah. It's a genius act for Snoop and his manager to do these pop-ins and to do these specials and to do these features on artists' music, and he makes a fortune doing this stuff, man. But it's,
I was about to say, it's so weird though, because like you get actors and actresses that are like pigeonholed into being the same role, right? That's Snoop, but he's like Jack Black, where you could just put him in anything and be like, just be Jack Black, just be Snoop Dogg, and it'll be great. Like they'll be like, yeah, that's just a classic Snoop Dogg. He's just over there saying things, doing things. Like,
you know, just to kind of talk a little bit about how he's just Snoop. I just feel like the way he is in front of the camera is no different than the way he is in real life. I feel like that dude is one of those dudes where you know how he's acting in the moment is how it would be every second of every day. So I love that about him. He's not. I love that.
Well, that's some top tier charisma.
Sorry.
Like,
no,
you're fine.
You know, and I'd like to point this out as well. Pitch Perfect is great. I know you haven't seen it, but you really should. It's pretty funny. It's got Anna Kendrick in it. I mean, that is worth watching on its own.
Okay. I'm still not going to watch it.
You're missing out. It's great.
Like, I love singing and I don't mind show tunes, but I just don't want to watch Pitch Perfect.
They're in Pitch Perfect. There is a girl. At one point, the entire crew is convinced she's possessed by the devil. Yeah, you're welcome. Maybe you can watch it and figure out what's
Spoiler
going
alert.
on.
Gotta redub the beginning of the video. This may contain spoilers for Pitch Perfect 2. Please proceed with caution if you've never seen that movie. I also wrote down a couple of other ones. Do you guys remember when Big Bang Theory was huge? Like it was like the
Yeah,
number one TV show, and
I didn't watch much of it, but yeah, I remember it being like primetime television.
yeah, like it was a top tier. He was in that. I think I didn't write down his character name, but I think I remember it was Puss. Just Puss. That's all. Yeah, but you got like that. You got like the nerdy whatever comedy that's supposed to be like really smart, but usually isn't that smart. And then Pitch Perfect 2, which is apparently about demon possession and singing.
It's really
Didn't know
good.
that. But then I also wrote down he was in Big Time Rush. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Big Time Rush.
Isn't that like a boy band?
Yeah, it was a TV show about a boy band.
They had a TV show.
Yeah. That's like where they got popular. It wasn't from the boy band.
TV show.
Well,
have you seen Big Time Rush, the TV show, and you're making fun of me for watching Pitch Perfect?
I was a child when that was being released, okay? I get a pass for that one.
All right. Well.
I get a pass for that one. I never watched when he was in that, but I thought that was hilarious because I was like, that is a children's show, and they're bringing on Snoop Dogg, known for his family-friendly content.
I remember when Stuart Little 2, yes, it was the second one. Stuart Little 2 was coming out, and he was supposed to do a voice. I think he was the cat, if I remember correctly. I could be way wrong here, but I think he was the cat. And they told him he had to stop smoking in order to do that role because that was his image. I mean, he's been in High Times magazine multiple times by this time, and I remember there being news about them telling him he couldn't be in it unless he stopped smoking. And I think if I remember correctly, I could be way wrong here, and I apologize if I'm wrong, but I think he did stop so he could do the movie, but then went back to smoking.
Yeah, I was like, it didn't last very long.
He's also, I mean, he's got a show on Netflix. He's a football coach now.
For his son.
But not just a coach. It's like he owns the entire league, and it's for all these inner city areas of California that, you know, they're little kids, but it's a great series. It really is. Like, I mean, because they address things like, how do you justify being such a stoner, but you're trying to do positive things for these kids? And like his response was, what I am in front of these kids is a coach. When I'm here, I'm sober. I'm not high. I'm here. I'm here for these kids. This is about the kids. He goes, what I do in my personal life outside of this has nothing to do with things. He's like this. And he was kind of upset because he was trying to do something positive, and people were only focusing on the negative. And I would have been really upset about that as well. But yeah,
no, I'm straight up with you on that one. Like, you could tell he's definitely just like he's just that person, like on camera, off camera, he's just that guy. So you can tell he has like some seriously like really ingrained values, that he cares about people, even though he's crazy rich and crazy smart. But like, I wanted to swing this back because I wanted to talk about one of my favorite parodies that he ever appeared in. So you guys have seen Willy Wonka, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So American Dad did a version of Willy Wonka with Snoop Dogg, and it was a weed factory. And it was so good. It's such a good episode. Like, I would highly recommend, like, if you don't watch American Dad, just watch that episode. Because just they do everything like similarly to the Willy Wonka. Like, it's a complete parody, but it's just fucking Snoop Dogg there. He's just the owner of
Willy Wonka.
Yeah, he's just fucking Willy Wonka. He's just fucking there.
You know, my favorite media that Snoop is in, Def Jam Vendetta, Fight for New York.
Yeah,
Why have we not got a sequel to that game yet?
They were talking about it coming out, but it's
saw
always
that.
been just rumors,
Yeah.
man. It's always just been rumors. They're never gonna come out with it, dude. Because I remember like Wu-Tang was in that one.
Everybody.
Yeah, Meth was in that one.
You could play as everyone, and they'd fight each other, and there'd be rap songs, and you could do things that were not obviously legal, break people in half, and it was just a good time.
Yeah, it was a good game.
Like, David Banner would kill me in real life. I'd walk up to David Banner and be like, "Hey, pal," and he would rip me in half. But in that game, I destroyed him. Take that, David Banner.
I don't condone what he's saying about you, sir.
I can't wait to take that out of context. I'm gonna tag David Banner on Twitter like, "Hey, yo, you trying to fight my boy here?
Please don't kill me."
Yeah, please don't kill him. He's just kidding. It's just a joke. Oh, along the lines of the Willy Wonka thing, he also appeared in Mike Tyson's Mysteries as himself, and I've talked about this. I talked about this before, where he's just in things. Like, he just appears in things, even if they're unrelated to him. But that's not the first or last time he works with Mike Tyson, right? Did you guys check the Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr. fight?
Did I watch it? I did.
Yeah, did you watch it? No,
no, I didn't get to.
I got to watch it. I am so glad I got to watch it, because the fights leading up to it were trash. The memes that came out of them, chef kiss. Oh, they were so good. They were quality. They were quality memes. But like he was a judge in the Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr. fight.
Really?
Like
an actual judge, keeping points.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that, but he was like what do you call them? The people who talk.
Ring girl.
He was like a commentator.
Yeah, he was a commentator. I don't know.
Okay, I thought you meant like he was like a judge. Like when you watch boxing or UFC or anything like that, they have judges. There's usually 3 of them, and you have to win. If you don't knock the person out,
you got to win by points.
Yeah, you got to win by.
Yeah. Well, he was there. Like, apparently he's a huge sports fan. Like, he just loves sports. Obviously, he coaches football, and now I find out that he's a boxing fan. I mean, this dude's just out here.
Yeah, I mean, why would you not, right? Why would you not just try everything, right?
Right.
Like, I'm fucking Snoop, right? Like, I'm gonna go try everything.
Yeah.
And most of the shit he could pay for, but they just give it to him for free because he's fucking Snoop, right? Like, that's right. Like, I don't know, man. He just seems like chill.
There's actually a perfect comparison to what you're talking about. Like, I did research for this, not a ton, but I did research for this. There is a compilation of him being interviewed by this YouTube channel called All I Need Money, and literally he kept showing Snoop cool things. He's like, "Hey, check this out. You really like this?" Just based on what Snoop likes. He's like, "Yeah, I like this. How much you want for it?" And then he just keeps upping the price, and he's like, "You know what? I'm gonna just take it." And he does it through that compilation 3 or 4 times, and then eventually the guy just shows up with things Snoop likes. He's like, "Yeah, I brought it for you." He's like, "Yeah, because you knew you weren't getting it back."
Listen, I get it. If you have enough money, like I told you guys, I'd be doing well. I would rent out an entire row for the Super Bowl, and I would put wacky waving inflatable arm flailing 2-mans in every single seat next to me.
Why?
Because I have the money to do that.
Do you have any idea how pissed off I'd be if I was in the second row trying to watch the Super Bowl?
Well, you would be able to see it in between this.
Bro, every single one of those motherfuckers, dude. You know.
Oh yeah, I'd be swinging. I would throw hands.
With the wacky inflatable 2-man.
Get out of the way, 2-man. But I've got the money to do that, so I would. That's the best part.
You don't. Yeah, we're moving on. I'm like, you don't have to, but we're moving on. Other than that, I wrote down a couple of other things where I highlighted that there's 2 instances of him being politically inclined. Like, he will endorse either side. Like, he's a centralist. Like, he's obviously a really not specific person. He doesn't fall into ideologies. But I wrote down that he headlined a unity party for donors at Philly's Electric Factory on July 28, 2016, the last day of the Democratic National Convention. And that he was also noted for endorsing Ron Paul in the 2012 election but then later said that he would vote for Obama. And there's a hilarious Instagram post about it, which I'm not going to read because it contains content that I should not read, but I'm going to try and link it into the YouTube video.
Okay.
But my favorite part of that post is one of the reasons he said don't vote for Mitt Romney was the motherfucker's name is Mitt.
It's true. It's true.
It's true. His name is Mitt, but I never thought about it until Snoop told me. He's like, yeah, his name is Mitt. Fuck that guy.
No other country's gonna take you seriously when the leader of your country's name is Mitt.
Yeah.
Maybe
it's short for Mitney.
Or
Mitney?
I was gonna say Mitchell, but I'm like, nah, man. I think his name's just actually Mitt.
I wanted to think that like he's so like hometown American that it's short for baseball mitt.
That's his full name. Baseball Mitt.
Baseball
Mitt Romney.
You guys are both idiots.
Just like Slim Jim is short for Slimothy Jimothy.
Stop.
Okay.
Oh my god, I hate those. T-Pain's full name is Tylenol Pain Relief.
Tylenol PM.
Okay.
All right, moving on. So the last thing I want to note is that I've been talking about it a little bit, but like despite how successful he is, like he is iconic in so many different ways. He's just a normal dude living his life. Like I wanted to note specifically, have you guys seen him giving like a house tour? Like there's a video of it.
Oh yeah.
I remember him on Cribs.
And it just seems like a normal house. Like it's not crazy extravagant. It's just a nice house.
Mm-hmm.
But you know he's got the money to be like, you know what? I want to go and put some flying dolphins up in the corner. You know, maybe a couple of laser guided attack drones. You know, for home defense. Yeah. I want to put a live bear in the corner. Just train him. Just be, you know, a bear or a lion, obviously, since he changed his name to Snoop Lion at one point.
For the reggae.
Yes. As you do.
Yeah.
I just love this dude. Like
he's the only one in the world who could like change. I'm gonna change my name to Snoop Lion, and people are just like, yeah, I mean, I'll allow it.
All right, whatever.
I remember people made fun of him for that, but like most people are like, but he's Snoop Lion, so that's pretty on brand for him. He just does shit.
Dude,
yeah.
I feel like sometimes he's just in the shower and he's like, you know what? Because you know we all have dumb shower thoughts.
Yeah.
This guy, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna make that happen today.
Yeah. So that was my little book report on Snoop Dogg. Can't wait to tag him on Twitter and have him not respond.
He's gonna love it.
He's gonna log in and he's gonna be like, look, I can't watch 3 white dudes talk about me.
You can believe in us. Our voices.
Yep.
Well,
okay.
This has been NerdLore Podcast talking about Snoop. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Also, if there are people you think we should really check out, go ahead and put that in the comments. Until next time, this has been Shiny Shoes.
This has been Crashstarling.
It's your boy Skandle, baby.
Guys soon.